Reach back right now and feel the base of your neck. The spot where your collar sits, where your neck meets your upper back. Is there a rounded mound of tissue there? That seems to stick out more than it should? Maybe someone has commented on it, or you have noticed it in a mirror. Most people assume it is just poor posture, weight gain, or a side effect of too many hours hunched over a screen. Some of those assumptions are partially correct. But the full story is far more important and in some cases, far more urgent. That rounded bump at the back of the neck and upper back is medically known as a buffalo hump, or dorsocervical fat pad. It has earned a second nickname, mushroom syndrome, because of the way it protrudes from the base of the neck. Like the cap of a mushroom when viewed from the side. While it can result from postural problems, it can also be a visible sign of a hormonal condition that silently damages your cardiovascular system, your blood sugar regulation, your bones, and your immune function, often for years before any other symptom appears. Today I am going to give you the complete picture. What causes a buffalo hump? How to distinguish a postural cause from a hormonal one? What specific symptoms mean you need a blood test this week? And a step-by-step 7-day plan to begin reversing the postural type from today. If you have been wondering whether yours is just a posture problem or something more, you need to stay until the end. Let's start with the most medically important cause: cortisol excess. Cortisol is a hormone produced by your adrenal glands in response to stress. In normal amounts, it is essential. It regulates blood pressure, blood sugar, immune response, and your body's stress reaction. But when cortisol remains chronically elevated, it rewrites the way your body stores fat. Instead of distributing fat evenly, excess cortisol redirects fat accumulation to specific locations: the abdomen, the face, and the back of the neck. That concentrated fat deposit at the base of the neck is the buffalo hump. And its presence is one of the classic physical signatures of cortisol overload. Cortisol excess reaches dangerous levels through two pathways. The first is external, long-term use of corticosteroid medications prescribed for conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, severe allergies, or autoimmune conditions. These medications mimic cortisol and, at high doses over extended periods, produce the same fat redistribution patterns. If you have been taking steroid medications for months or years, this context is directly relevant to your neck. The second pathway is internal, the body producing too much cortisol on its own. This is Cushing's syndrome, which can result from a tumor in the pituitary gland, a tumor on the adrenal gland itself, or a tumor elsewhere in the body that drives cortisol production. Cushing's syndrome produces a recognizable cluster of physical changes that appear together. The face becomes round and full, what doctors call a moon face. Fat accumulates at the base of the neck, forming the buffalo hump. The limbs become thin while the abdomen and trunk grow larger. Central obesity. Pink or purple stretch marks appear on the abdomen and thighs. The skin becomes thin and bruises easily. Muscle weakness, high blood pressure, and blood sugar problems develop. Research shows that approximately 20% of Cushing's syndrome patients develop diabetes if you have a buffalo hump combined with two or more of these features. An endocrinology evaluation is not optional, it is urgent. The second major cause is functional hypercortisolism from chronic stress, sleep deprivation, and sustained psychological pressure. This is not Cushing's syndrome, there is no tumor, but the effect on cortisol patterns overlaps significantly. Global research consistently documents that chronic psychological stress elevates cortisol levels over months and years, driving central fat accumulation, including at the back of the neck. Elevated cortisol from chronic stress promotes insulin resistance, and insulin resistance is the on-ramp to type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular disease. The neck hump in this scenario is not just an aesthetic concern. It is a metabolic warning light. The third cause is postural, and this is the most common type and the most correctable. When the head is chronically positioned forward of the spine, the soft tissue at the back of the neck is subjected to enormous, sustained compression. Research has calculated that when the head shifts just 15 degrees forward, the effective load on the neck increases from roughly 5 kilograms to approximately 12 kilograms. At 30 degrees forward, that becomes 18 kilograms. At 60 degrees, the angle most people hold their phones at. It reaches 27 kilograms of sustained pressure on the back of the neck. Year after year of this loading causes connective tissue and fat to accumulate at that site, forming a physical bump that looks indistinguishable from a hormonal buffalo hump to the untrained eye. Smartphones, low monitor placement, driving posture, and reclining on the sofa to watch television all create these forward head positions. The modern lifestyle manufactures postural buffalo humps at scale, and millions of people are developing them, while assuming the cause is simply weight gain or aging. Here is the critical question: how do you know which type you have? Use this checklist right now. Seek medical evaluation urgently if any combination of these applies to you. Has your face become noticeably rounder and fuller in recent months? Are you gaining weight in your abdomen and face, while your arms and legs remain thin or become thinner? Have pink or purple stretch marks appeared on your belly, hips, or thighs? Does your skin bruise unusually easily from minor contact? Has your blood pressure risen without a clear explanation? Are your fasting blood sugar levels elevated or trending upward? Have you been taking corticosteroid medications for more than a few weeks? If 2 or more of these match your situation alongside the neck hump, please see a doctor for cortisol screening this week. Testing includes a 24-hour urinary cortisol measurement, a late-night salivary cortisol test, and an overnight dexamethasone suppression test. Straightforward evaluations that can confirm or rule out pathological cortisol excess. On the other hand, the postural type is more likely. If your neck tissue feels uniformly soft without any distinct firm mass, your weight has increased generally, rather than specifically in the neck and abdomen. You spend many hours daily in forward head postures with screens, and none of the hormonal symptoms above apply to you. For the postural type, here are the most evidence-supported corrective exercises. The first is the chin tuck. This is the foundational exercise, recommended by virtually every postural correction specialist. Sitting or standing upright, slide your chin straight backward, not downward, as if you were trying to make a double chin. You should feel a gentle stretch and engagement at the base of the skull and upper neck. Hold for 5 seconds, release, and repeat 10 times. 3 sets daily. This directly counteracts the forward head position that creates compression at the back of the neck. The second is thoracic extension over a foam roller or tightly rolled towel. Place the roller horizontally across your upper back, at roughly the height of your shoulder blades. Slowly extend backward over it, allowing your upper spine to arch gently around the roller. Hold for 1 to 2 minutes. The thoracic spine's mobility is the foundation of neck posture. A stiff upper back forces compensatory forward head position, no matter how many neck exercises you do. The third is the wall angel or shoulder external rotation. Stand with your back flat against a wall, raise your arms to shoulder height, with elbows bent at 90 degrees, and press the backs of your hands toward the wall, while drawing your shoulder blades together and downward. 10 repetitions, 3 sets. This rebuilds the mid-back and rotator cuff strength that keeps the shoulders back and the neck naturally upright. The fourth is posterior neck myofascial release. Interlace your fingers and rest them gently at the base of your skull. Slowly let your head bow forward, allowing the weight of your hands to gently stretch the tissue at the back of the neck. Hold 30 seconds, release slowly. Repeat 3 times daily. This reduces accumulated tissue tension and supports circulation to the compressed area. The fifth is the YTW exercise sequence. Lying face down on a mat or inclined surface. Raise your arms sequentially into Y, T, and W shapes, squeezing the shoulder blades together and downward with each position. This targets the lower and middle trapezius and rhomboids, the muscles whose weakness allows the upper back to round and the neck hump to develop and persist. One critical safety warning: if you are currently taking corticosteroid medication, never reduce or stop your dose without direct guidance from your prescribing physician. Abrupt discontinuation of steroid medications can trigger a dangerous adrenal crisis, as the body's own production has been suppressed. Any changes to corticosteroid therapy must be managed medically. If this video gave you clarity or concern, please act on it today. Like, subscribe, and share this. With someone who has been wondering about their neck for too long. Leave your questions in the comments, I answer everyone. See you in the next video, and take care of yourself.